Everything you ever wanted to know about Puffy Nipples Part 2. Teen Puffy Nipples. Puffy nipples are among the most frequent complaints about young women. Unfortunately, with those breasts is generally little option but to take baby aspirin to make them go away. As a result of this, it's extremely important to tackle these symptoms if you're a teen mom and want to become pregnant. Breastfed infants have very few pores in their skin, which helps them to breathe through. The milk glands in the breast give milk off, which divides the breast and keeps it business. This breastfeeding technique may also be used for breastfeeding moms and newborns. So, just like our bodies need exercise to keep healthy, so does the body of a young mother. But even more important is the daily exercise routine that she will begin once she's on the best way to breastfeeding. This hormonal change may cause the skin to become flattered or the nipple to become bloated. However, though the hormones aren't much different in both of these stages, the human body's still reacting to the differences. So you might find yourself worrying about these new puffy nipples. It can really be embarrassing to be nursing your baby when you know you have to prepare for work. Even worse is if you have to nurse a toddler and you have got to get dressed to go to work. Most girls tend to worry more about morning sickness than they do about the nipples themselves. But this symptom does not always mean that your breasts are too large or small. It could also indicate that your breasts are not feeding correctly. When you've got large breasts and nipples, then you can observe a lack of milk production as soon as you begin to nurse. You may have an easier time getting the milk out of your breasts if you do not already nurse from your breasts. But you can help your nipples get smaller by avoiding the above-mentioned habits. While it may not appear possible to decrease the size of your nipples, it truly is possible to get rid of puffy nipples. Your baby needs the nutrients and vitamins that your breast milk cannot provide. Start your meal with a cup of breast milk plus a small number of veggies and fruit, and include milk at each meal for a snack. Stay away from foods that contain sugar. You'll be surprised how fast these foods will make your nipples seem bigger. When you're nursing, try to avoid foods with lots of fat and sodium too. Avoiding certain food substances can also make a huge difference. The lard and dairy products in snacks, candies, and cakes can lessen the amount of milk your body produces. That is a temporary problem, but if you eat these foods again while nursing, you might notice your nipples swelling up again. When you're looking for ways to cut back your puffy nipples, you are able to try many different strategies. However, the best choice is to avoid these foods and attempt to find something else to feed your infant on. Your child's health is the top priority, and anything you can do to make sure its well-being must be a priority for you. Young teen puffy nipples. A lot of ladies don't understand how to take care of 2 or 3 nasty little lumps on their small mama's nipples, especially when they see their small infant girls sporting a set of very young teen puffy nipples. As a mom of 2 teens and a single mom myself, I've seen just about every facet of swollen nipples. Once I was in my early teens, the only natural thing to do is to get rid of those bad little teenage bumps in my youthful teen puffy nipples. It was not a difficult task because everyone was treating them the same way. They were covered with lots of baby oil and had all kinds of weird looks. They were always known as nipples. These tiny little bumps on my mama's nipple brought her a lot of distress, pain and embarrassment. She could barely leave the house because she'd get in trouble for breastfeeding in public, and if she did breastfeed, it took so long. She had been in so much pain and humiliated by her teenage bumps. Fortunately, there were plenty of mothers who understood what to do with their youthful teen puffy nipples. And there were lots of alternatives out there, also. The solution of this afternoon was nothing more than an injection. I was fearful that the injections were nothing more than harmful, and that I did not matter how badly it hurt. But, these same mothers who injected their babies didn't mind using the injections on their own babies. Even though they seemed to be injecting the same substances into their bodies. It did not matter if the small bumps were a result of something that you ate or drank, they were nevertheless a problem that needed to be medicated. Of course, I also didn't care how painful the injections were and just how uneasy they made me feel. One injection after another was administered, and remedies lasted as long as 3 months. Every time, the lumps got worse. And worse they got. I was becoming increasingly worried about the nasty little spots in my little mama's nipples. I only wanted to prevent the sight of my baby's cute little lumps, which have been turning my mama into a laughingstock. All I wanted was for my own mama's nipple to stay where it had been. I just wanted to forget about the humiliation. I didn't want to deal with the tiny little bumps anymore. Then one day, my mother called me in to talk about an injection. We talked for a while and talked about some other things, such as getting a fantastic night's sleep, trying to lose weight, etc. The identical thing with the fact she was going to inject me to get breastfeeding. I might understand why she decided to inject me with breast milk when she understood I was still breastfeeding. Subscribe our channel for future videos, visit our website holisticmeaning.com for more informative articles.